In the course of human evolution, you are here. And this probably isn't news, but our species is classified as Homo sapiens. From the Latin, that means the one who thinks. What most people never know, though, is that the full name of our species is Homo sapiens sapiens. Two sapiens. That means the one who thinks and knows they're thinking. Now, the exercise we did in the last module brings us into that second sapiens, the idea that we know that we're thinking when it's happening. This is inherent to who we are as a species. It's just that most people never tell you. If you think about it this way, it's sort of like we have our mind up front doing the thinking, and maybe another dimension of the mind behind it that can watch thinking as it happens. Here, the first sapiens, and the second sapiens. In meditation, this is sometimes referred to as small mind, the intellectual, problem-solving, thinking mind, and big mind, awareness. Small mind is not better than big mind is not better than small mind. We need both to operate effectively. In meditation, however, we're just learning to spend more time in big mind to sink back into awareness, regardless of what's going on in our external circumstances. The author W. Timothy Gallwey, in his book, The Inner Game of Tennis, puts this into words using self-1 for the small mind and self-2 for the big mind. And he writes, self-1 is the analytical, ego-driven, anxious self that drives many of our actions and preoccupies our minds. This is the self that flits continually out of the present moment, latching on to various obstacles and tripping up our game. Self-2 is the intuitive, unconscious mind that transcends these obstacles and allows us to feel at one with everything around us. Self-2 lives entirely in the present moment and holds the key to conscious flow in life. The key to the inner game involves putting self-2 in the driver's seat and putting self-1 in the back seat. Meditation helps us transcend the mental chatter and patterns of self-doubt and relinquish control to self-2. This is not easy when you've lived most of your life paying attention to and taking cues from self-1. With enough practice, even if you commit to just a few minutes a day, it eventually becomes much easier to toggle between self-1 and self-2. Meditation helps us transcend the mental chatter and patterns of self-doubt and relinquish control to self-2. This is not easy when you've lived most of your life paying attention to and taking your cues from self-1. With enough practice, even if you commit to just a few minutes a day, it eventually becomes much easier for you to toggle between self-1 and self-2. And just those few minutes a day can have huge results, as we see in the landmark 2011 Sarah Lazar study completed at Mass General Hospital in Boston, which found that for new practitioners of meditation, that in as little as 8 weeks, there were major structural changes in the brain, including a thicker cerebral cortex in areas associated with attention and emotional integration, increased gray matter in the hippocampus associated with learning and memory, and decreased gray matter in the amygdala, which is linked to anxiety, fear, and stress. In layman's terms, the oldest, earliest evolved parts of our brain shrunk, and the newest, highest order parts of our brain grew. A healthier brain just from a few weeks of meditation practice. Now, most people feel a change much sooner than 8 weeks, which is unsurprising since there's a laundry list of other research-backed benefits associated with meditation, ranging from improved sleep to greater emotional integration, even protection against Alzheimer's. Now, all of this comes from a simple practice. And while we might not have the resources to prove it with a brain scan as part of this course, with a little practice, we can certainly feel it, which is no small part due to this shift in perspective, the ability to lean back into a different aspect of our minds, a different part of ourselves, which has always been there, but where most of us don't often reside. As I said, that's all we're doing in meditation, toggling between self 1 and self 2, spending a little less time in small mind and a little more time in big mind.